wait a minute, hold up, hold. Peace, peace, peace.
Good morning, good
Good
morning, good
morning,
morning.
greetings, divine rising.
Great
Yeah, we,
awakening.
apologies for running late. We had some horrible technical difficulties. I'm using a computer that I normally don't use, so some things that I didn't know that couldn't flow.
But we're here.
The spirit is strong, definitely strong.
That's right.
Uh, yes. Now, for anyone that is watching, make sure that you share this link. I'm getting ready to share it out. I am sharing from the YouTube channel, but if you're on Facebook or wherever, make sure you share, 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 share.
Did you sharing from the YouTube channel?
Yes, because there
Okay.
are some people that are not on YouTube, I mean on Facebook, so we want to
Yes.
catch everybody for sure.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, I think go ahead and get started and just tell people what the Temple Talks is all about. Why we doing the Temple Talks?
Yeah. Who wants to start?
I can. I'll just add greetings, everyone,
Yeah,
and
since you came
welcome
up with the name.
to our
Yeah.
first Temple Talk. And some of you are already familiar with us doing the monthly Ma'at Temple of Elevation gatherings at TNET. And this is almost like a branch off of that. We wanted to keep everyone engaged, everyone feeling empowered, everyone in the know of what we're doing. So we created Temple Talk to meet with you all on a weekly basis instead of waiting till once a month. And here we'll be talking about some of the hot topics that's going on in the news or just prevalent topics that we all deal with on a day-to-day basis and having a more casual conversation about it. So we welcome you all to our first Temple Talk. I don't know if anyone else has something they want to add um, to that.
No, I think you covered it. I just love the way that we are creating a space for everyone to just to learn and
Mm-hmm.
to evolve. So if you can't catch us live, then you can catch us live.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I say. I like that. You can't
Yeah.
catch us live, but you can catch us live. I like that
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yep. So we'll be meeting next week in person next Sunday. So
Yeah.
you know this is something that we're doing to keep communication flowing and to keep engaging everyone with these temple topics. Now let's open with libation, if we will, before we go any further.
Ashe, Ashe. So, for some of you who are not familiar with libation, we always want to honor our ancestors and we want to include them in our work because this is all healing work. Although we're going to be having casual conversation, it's to bring it all home to a spiritual sense and to healing. So, we want our ancestors included in all of that healing work that we're doing. And we want to honor them because we keep them alive by pouring libation and saying their name. So, you pour libation using water and you pour into the earth, or if you have a plant like I have here,
Mm.
here's my water. So we just open the way by acknowledging the great supreme being, the all, the most high, God, Allah, known by many names. Whatever name you worship or choose to acknowledge is all right with us. So we pour libation to the great divine and we say Ashe.
I say.
I say,
Shay.
At this time, we pour libation and all praise and adoration to our ancestors in our direct bloodline who we are connected to, who paved the way for us, who are on the other side guiding us and pushing us into the right direction. And we call them out by name. Margot Devon, Ashe.
Shanita Reynolds.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Ryan
Missy Vaughn.
McDaniel.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Fan-
Ramona
Linda
Black.
Ashe. Linda Ashe.
Lisa Wright.
James
Jeanette
Black.
Ashe.
Fannie Mae
Frankie
Ashley,
Fuego Ashe.
Mary
Ernest
Ford.
Gales
Ashe.
Sr.,
Patty
Grandma Green
Lafthouse.
Ashe.
George Floyd.
Grandma Rosa Ashe. Grandpa Howard Ashe.
Billy.
the Page
Aunt Pat.
lineage, the Bell
Ashe.
lineage,
All the
Ashe.
Ford
Williams
lineage, all the
lineage.
Laughing House lineage, all the Blackman lineage.
Ashe. And then we pull libation to those ancestors. We may not know their names. May not ever even seen them, seen a picture, but they are still connected to us and they are still guiding us. And we just pour libation for them and say Ashe.
Ashe.
We pour libation and all praise and adoration to our freedom fighters, the one fighting for peace and liberty and empowerment and freedoms for African people in the diaspora throughout on the continent and throughout the diaspora. And at this time, we call them by name. Malcolm X,
Saha
Ashe.
Mfundishi
Fannie
Masi.
Lou Ashe. Ida B. Wells,
Ida
Ashe.
B. Wells,
Ashe.
Zora,
Dr. Wilson, Ashe. Dr.
Elijah
Eaton,
Muhammad.
Ashe.
Malcolm
Ashe.
X, Martin Luther King,
Nani Baruki,
Marcus
Ashe.
Garvey,
Betty
Ashe.
Shabazz,
Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Dr.
Ashe.
Africa,
Sojourner
Ashe.
Truth,
John Cassell,
Ashe.
Harriet
Fannie Lou
Tubman,
Hamer.
Ashe. And at this
James-
time, we now acknowledge and think of those ancestors who traveled through the Middle Passages and had to endure horrific conditions. And we may not know their names like we know some of the other more famous freedom fighters, but we still want to take a moment to acknowledge them. And we say Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe,
We pour libation back to the great supreme being, God, Allah, the one, the divine spirit. And we say Ashe.
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 Ashe-o. Libation is complete.
All right. So let's keep this party rolling.
All right.
All right.
So next up, since this is Temple Talk, we want to make sure that everyone is clear on what we're doing here. And it's a good reaffirmation to speak our mission statement, which is to build and maintain a strong family and community support structure that fosters spiritual elevation, optimal living, healthy relationships, empowerment, and respect among Black people or African American communities, to inspire, uplift, and energize the spirit of the people to face life with enthusiasm, vigor, and gratitude. All right. And so we also have 11 precepts, that we go by and that we strive to live by. And so we got to take care of this temple business every time we speak to remind us and everyone listening what we're here for and what we represent and what we're striving to embody. And so our first precept is we come in the spirit of Ma'at, which is love, truth, balance, reciprocity, and lawfulness. And we strive to affirmatively fulfill the 42 laws.
Ashe.
Number 2, we are here to create a safe space for fellowship, healing, spiritual upliftment, and emotional support. Let's put some ashe on that.
Ashe.
We shall demonstrate high respect, self-respect, and respect of one another is top priority. Ashe.
Ashe.
We exercise mindful and heart-centered communications. Communication is sacred to building and sustaining harmonious relationships. Ashe.
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 We equally value, honor, and respect all children, women, and men, and we prioritize family and community. Ashe.
Ashe.
We cherish our beloved ancestors. We call their names, petition their guidance and assistance. We energize them and pay homage. For we know, although they are not in the physical, they are still here with us. Ashe.
Ashe.
We promote spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical health, always reaching for our most optimal state of well-being. Ashe.
Ashe.
We acknowledge the one supreme creator of all, who goes by many names, references, and variations, always respecting and honoring the various spiritual denominations, institutions, sects, and houses established and worshiped by our people throughout time. Ashe.
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 We cherish our elders and value their wisdom. We strive to support and care for them in the best ways we can. Ashe.
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 We celebrate and appreciate our existence. We celebrate and appreciate everyone in our families and community. We celebrate and appreciate friendship, brotherhood, sisterhood, childhood, familyhood, and communityhood. The hood is our covering. Ashe.
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 We know that unity and cooperation is the reality of our existence. We know we need one another. And with our supreme creator and beloved ancestors at the center of everything we do, we can take good care of one another throughout the journey of this life that we share. Ashe.
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 Ashe. So where's everyone watching? I hope that anyone that is watching, please give us some comments and type in the chat where you are viewing us from. I'm sure we have a lot of people from Baltimore, but wherever you are, shout us out.
Yes.
Where are you?
Yes. So
Ashe.
Ashe.
so how's
We
everyone
got a
feeling?
Facebook person that just
And spirit is strong, definitely
spirit
strong.
is strong, definitely strong.
Yeah, definitely
Yes.
strong. I mean, it's important that we come together, and we know that our people lack, a lot of spiritual guidance and direction. And a lot of people don't go to church, a lot of people don't go to the mosque, a lot of people don't go anywhere for spiritual upliftment. So we come together because we want to try to offer people a place that they can be able to come. And on these Sundays, every Sunday that we come to you at 10 o'clock, and then we lead up to on the first Sunday of every month that we come in person, that we can come together and we can gather with each other so that we can come together and just fellowship with one another. So it's important that we do this because we getting older. I'm almost half 100 this year. You know what I'm saying? And many of us are getting up there. I mean, and even but not just us, but for the young people, it's the whole circle of life, and everybody needs to understand the whole spiritual reality of everything that's going on. So that's why it's important that we do these temple talks that lead up to us actually coming together to keep us, fired up, to keep the engine full, what I mean, to gas us up from week to week where we need some things, because all of us go through stuff. It's life and it's living. So we all go through stuff all the time. So, so it's important.
Right.
So we appreciate anybody that's coming through, that's joining in and telling a friend, because like you said, you may not be a part of anything, or you may be a part of those things and want to join in too, but that's what our goal is, to try to take things to the next level, and that's what we're doing.
Ashe.
Ashe.
We acknowledge that it's a lot of work that has to be done in our communities, and we acknowledge that spirit is where it starts. We could go into a community and say we're going to offer jobs to everyone, or we're going to just give everyone money, but if the spirit is not intact, it won't matter. So my Temple of Elevation, we know that getting into a space of spiritual strength is vastly important to healing the other areas of our lives.
Most definitely. And one thing I would like to add is as well as, I hope that we learn to make spirituality a part of our everyday life. I want us to start learning how to do spiritual things in practical ways. Like, we shouldn't just pray when something's happening. We should pray in the morning. We should pray when we're headed out to work. We should pray before bed. We should be meditating on what we want to continually see. And I think that sometimes we don't do that as consistently. So I'm hoping that what we are doing here will help to support that in your daily life.
That's right.
Now, at the same time, if we understand everyone's busy in their daily lives, and you may have a little challenge setting aside time to do your meditation and prayer and everything. But keep in mind, don't beat yourselves up. We shouldn't beat ourselves up because we understand that we want to make our life, the way we live, a prayer. We want to live meditatively, mindfully, and consciously, and develop our ability to be guided and be in alignment in real time. We know that the time that we set aside to pray and meditate are exercises that help to awaken us and sharpen us in real day-to-day life. Okay, so then when you're celebrating and appreciating your life and the people in your life, and you constantly projecting good thoughts in the atmosphere, that's praying. That's praying, because I personally don't see praying as like begging, oh please God, give me this and give me that. But I see praying as not being an accident that the word pray, P-R-A-Y, sounds just like the word pray, P-R-E-Y. Okay. Now, some people might not appreciate the idea of considering yourself a predator who's praying. But when you look at predators who are hunting their game or hunting their food, they, think of the birds of prey, hovering, circling like a hawk or an eagle, getting a circumspective view of the landscape, looking for its prey. And then when it decides that, okay, that's what I want, the focus, you see how when you look at one of those hunters' faces, like the eagle or the hawk, their brow is always like focused. They're very focused, and then they take a streamline to their goal, and there's no distracting them. Okay, so they plan on hitting the target. That's their intention, and they're not going to stop until they do. And so you can see praying as the type of energy that you are using to project onto your goals, which you want to manifest and which you want to live.
I also heard a Kemetic priest say that our prayer should be an affirmation.
Yes.
We should pray affirming as if it already happened. And I agree with that. And then we have gratitude prayers where we pray just giving thanks. So it's different forms and ways to pray. And it doesn't have to be, we should carve out time for intentional prayer. But, sometimes you get in a state of prayer just saying thank you. It can be something small that happened, saying giving thanks to the universe for that happening. And you're not even consciously thinking of it. It's just like, thank you. That's a prayer.
And can I just add in that sometimes we are doing reversal praying, and that is worrying. And worrying, of course, we have our times when we are concerned, we are worried, we are ruminating on things. How is this going to happen? Or this has hurt me, this has saddened me. But oftentimes we are worrying or constantly thinking and replaying a negative experience, a thought, our worst fear. We're creating a whole scenario, and that thought or that feeling, experience, past, present, or even future fear becomes real when we start feeling anxiety or the rigidness or the tightness in our body. So even if you that are watching this think, oh, I'm not a good prayer, or I don't know how to meditate. If you have ever thought about anything, good or bad, and you have felt it in your body, that is a vibrational frequency that is showing you that your energy has been elevated to meet that thought, that prayer, that feeling.
Right.
And these are the type of things that we want to share. So it's not necessarily about a religious type of a movement, but it's more a holistic self-actualization movement of the self for community.
Right. So that brings me to a question I have for you, Kenda.
Oh.
So you started as the Joy Factor Mama. You have a program that you offer to people, but we also have a spiritual cultural system in the Ma'at temple that we are practicing. And we started the year off with a focal point on the principle of happiness. And I think
Yeah.
that's a great way to start the year off. But now we come to the end of the month, and we're going to close out this month dealing with happiness, and there's going to be another principle that we're going to put the focus on next month, another couple of principles. However, we're not going to leave happiness behind. We want it to carry over throughout the year. But what are some ways that one could experience happiness in real time?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for that wonderful segue, my love. And if anyone doesn't know, this is my brilliant, loving, fantabulous husband, Simbi Akau.
Thank you very much.
He is.
Thank you very much.
Lamar said he all right.
He is my life partner in so many different things. And one of them is the spiritual growth journey and authoring and creating a system, not just for others, but first for ourselves. And my side of it deals with the interpersonal with self, and I deal with happiness. And this month, I took a group of wonderful ladies through my new group called Sacred Joy Garden, where we started going through what I call the 12 locks of joy. And we started on happiness. And there is a shadow side to happiness. Anything that is beautiful or great or bright, there is a shadow side of it. The shadow side helps us to appreciate the light. And the only way that we can appreciate the light is looking at our reflection. And when I say that, it's not necessarily the reflection of light, but what we see from ourselves towards others and with ourselves. And the shadow side of happiness is discontent. I took my ladies through 30 days of it, but this is for everyone. This is not just for women, but I'm just sharing this to say that a lot of times we rob ourselves of happiness by being attached to things, former things that create a consistent flow of discontentment. And one of the things that I have shared is that astrologically, we are in a new space where we can decide what happiness is for us. For right now, Pluto has moved from Capricorn to Aquarius, and that happened last week. And a lot of people like, oh, I'm not into astrology. It doesn't make any sense to me. If you are a carbon being on this planet that is magnetized by the atmosphere, the planet, the sun, the moon, then it's going to affect you in some way, whether you are conscious of it or not. So the best thing for us to do is to take note. And for people that want to have a more literal comparison of the energy that we're all entering, this energy that we are going through, the last time that it happened in the recorded time was 1776. And a lot of us know what was happening in 1776. It was the quote unquote American Revolution. There was also the revolutions happening in other countries in Europe and so have you. So when we look at that energy that happened almost 400 years ago, what we need to do is look at what does that energy signify for us and how does that apply to happiness? Well, there was a time when a group of lighter hued people got together and decided that they did not want to be oppressed anymore. They chose that their personal well-being was more important than a governing body. And they became upset. They had the root of discontent. Where is my happiness? I am discontent. What can I do to change my feeling of discontent? Because that's the only way that I can get to happiness. And they decided to get together, and we're leaving England. The people in France, they challenged and got rid of their monarchy. But what does that mean to us in 2024? That means that we are looking around and seeing that things are not right. There's a discontent. Discontent for us can begin with us looking at what makes us unhappy. We're not blaming the system, the people, systematic this and the church, the celebrities. Where we begin with ourselves. What areas of our lives are we not seeking ourselves and seeing ourselves in the proper light? Are we still holding ourselves hostage for the mistakes or the missteps that we have taken 10 years ago, 15 years ago? This energy is about stepping forward in your present right now. Where is your happiness foundation right now? What are you looking at? When you get triggered by Cat Williams telling everybody's business, why is that giving you a discontent feeling? And also, why is it making you happy? There's a lot of people that really enjoy some people being exposed or their conspiracy theories being confirmed. But how does that apply to you in your personal life? We have to stop observing the world as just out there. It is out there, but we're creating that. How are we adding to the happiness pot? How are we stirring the discontent pot? And one of the markings of this energy is speaking truth. What is your truth? And are you bold enough to speak your truth in love and respect? Are you able to view someone else's truth with respect? When we talk about working together to collaborate and to build, is it for power stake or for elevation? Are we comfortable in understanding that there are subsects set in a big tribe? Everyone doesn't have to move exactly the same, but we need to be moving in the right direction. That's where happiness begins for the collective. I hope I didn't go too far, but
No, that's excellent, Mama Kenda. Let me share a little something. One of the happiness has several definitions. According to one's perspective. One of the perspectives I have of happiness is it being the relaxation of tension and being free of worry. Now, I know that you mentioned before we even started talking about happiness, you talked about meditating or praying in reverse, dealing with worry. And so, can we? Is it possible to be happy if you're worrying about things?
No. I
Especially
mean,
things you can't control.
So when we talk about worrying, right? When you worry, so of course people are going to be concerned. We're going to be worried about certain things. The life just happens. But when you lean into that feeling, when you allow yourself to acknowledge the tension, you don't become that tension. And that's something that we're not actively taught. And that is one of the journeys for us to experience how to transmute a lot of these things, the discomfort, the triggers, into growth opportunities, into medicine. There are things that I can think about that have hurt me and that have harmed me. And until I'm able to get the medicine out of it, I'm not going to be in full bloom.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, we cannot be so hard on ourselves to say you got to let it all go. But you look by acknowledging is the beginning steps of letting go. The next step to me is when the worry comes up, you drill down to what are you most worried about? Put it to the minuteness of it, meaning the self. Even if we're worried about our children, and that is something that parents, mothers and fathers, we worry about our children. We don't want anything to happen to them. We want them to be safe and to be prosperous. But if we're honest enough to with ourselves to say that the foundation of my worry is about myself, that I didn't do what I was supposed to do, whether it's factual or fiction. That is the root of our discontentment and our fear and our worry that there's something that we didn't do or we should have done. And
So,
once we
oh, I'm sorry.
acknowledge that, no, I'm almost finished. And that's not taking away from our love or care of our children, or I'm just using that as an example, but we have to be honest about the personal, almost self-centered aspect of the worry. You have to be
Mm-hmm.
honest about that with ourselves.
Okay. So then how can we get to a point, or are we able to get to a point where our state of happiness does not rely on conditions in our lives or external conditions being a certain way? Like, can we
Mm.
be happy when our external conditions in our life are not what we would ideally want it to be?
That's where joy comes in. Joy is a
Mm-hmm.
state of being. Happiness is an aspect of joy. So
Mm-hmm.
when you ask me that question, being happy all the time, I mean there may be people that are happy all the time. I'm not one of
I
those
doubt that.
people. I'm just saying, I cannot say that
Mm-mm.
that's a fact. But the idea that we can calibrate joy, that we can pull the medicine out of different sacred opportunities for growth.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. I mean, so I personally don't think that people can be happy all the time, but I believe that we can cultivate joy. It's it's like brushing our teeth. That is something that we have to do regularly to keep our teeth healthy and our health. When we talk about having joy, joy is a maintenance thing. That's something that we have to calibrate, that we have to work with and flow with on a daily basis. And some days our joy factor may be higher, some days our joy factor may be lower. That's one of the things that we have to remove is the idea that you have to be happy all the time. That is spiritual bypassing, which is unhealthy and has caused a lot of people to feel like failures, to feel like they're not good enough. That's one of the things when we talk about the more traditional aspects of faith, where the idea of being perfect, and we are perfecting. We are ascending to our God self every day. We chose to come into these carnal bodies to experience our God self through trial and growth.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope
Excellent. So,
did I answer your question.
um,
Oh,
I well, first, who's the Facebook? Why does it say Facebook user instead of the person's name?
I don't know. It just keeps saying Facebook user.
They
Maybe,
shared a good thought though.
yeah, maybe because there's certain tabs that where they'll show you Facebook and then YouTube, perhaps, or maybe they just don't want their name shown. But anyway,
No, I think it's different
No,
people.
it's different.
It's
It's been
different
different
people.
people, but I don't know why they normally would show their name.
It's
it's
Kamal,
Kamal. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing his name
but
though.
it's different people still. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um. Oh, so that the statement that he made, revelation is found in nature. The chicken is continuously worried and lives about 3 to 5 years. The African elephant stands strong and proud and is not too worried about its environment and lives 60 to 70 years. Although both are subject to predation, being prey at times, it is clear one stands in its strength and stands tall. Be an
Mm,
elephant and not a chicken.
mm. All right. I like that. So when we look at the elephant can look at things and see things, but the elephant oftentimes is very appearing slow moving, but it is probably taking active action and steps for itself every day. It knows what it is and what and how it should function. And so
Hmm.
And
worrying
the
when
fact
you
of the matter is, it's bigger than everybody.
Right.
but yeah, that's true. But guess what? Our spirit is just as big as we choose it to be. You
That's right.
know,
That's true.
we can talk about an elephant. Now, I don't know how long an ant can live, but ants are very small, but they can lift things, I believe, 300 times its weight
Hmm.
on its own. So size doesn't necessarily matter. It's like the mustard seed for all of my people from a more Christian
Hmm.
background. A lot of people like to always talk about the the mustard seed as being so small. It's so small, and even the size of a mustard seed, if you have a little bit, and that's only half of the parable. That's only half of the lesson. It's not so much the size of it as the capacity. A small seed can create a big tree. So if you sow a small seed of understanding for yourself, respecting yourself, understanding the way that you feel, and being honest with your own ego. There may come like a time for your happiness where you have to acknowledge that there's certain people that you just don't vibe with and you may not need to build with. Is that something that you should feel guilty about? No, that should be honoring self and understanding that while um I may be happier in either state of being with the person, I have to respect that person. I have to respect that person and who they are and where they are. There's no conflict. We need to move towards conflict. I love Cat Williams. I
Hmm.
I, told, I mean, Cat Williams. A lot of people didn't like a lot of things that he said, but what it did do was it freed him up to show that there's two places to have success. We can judge and figure out if he's happy or not, or um, Kevin Hart is happy, or Steve Harvey is happy, and all these different things. The bottom line is all these different people that we, the collective, are debating about and observing. They both each decided to take their routes towards happiness.
Hmm.
So,
And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
all right. So let's make a little shift. Thank you for sharing that, Kendra. That awesome
You
insight,
Yes,
thorough
I could
insight
go.
you
I'm
gave us
sorry.
in happiness. Um, let's shift it a little bit. We have something significant going on right now. And hey, look, we talking about joy, we talking about happiness. Fact of the matter is, a lot of people are happy about what's about to happen. What we hope will happen in the Ravens game today, right?
Hmm.
And Jabari, let me ask you something pertaining to like this Ravens game. You know, you often talk about the spirituality in sports, you know, specifically football. You know, we often discuss, you know, analogies pertaining to football and how, you know, there's so many spiritual elements and cultural elements in football. And I know you brought up momentum, you know, so how could what's going on today with the Ravens game, for example, um how could that point to certain spiritual ideas and maybe possible lessons that we can get from not just this just not being a sports event?
Well, I mean, football is life, and let me say this right now because I know some people who hardcore RBG, hardcore nationalists. You know what I'm saying? Will be like, man, it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, man? Stop trying to you know what I mean, tying you because you like sports and you love sports and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's about the revolutionary principles of, you know what I mean? So, and I know and I understand that and I get it, you know what I'm saying? But as a person that loves football now, I'm be honest, you know what I'm saying? I have a son, you know what I mean now, and when it comes time for him that he may want to play football, I would talk him out of playing football.
That's right.
Because I do honestly think that, you know what I mean, that the body is not made for that sport. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It can be barbaric, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? However, it's something that we grew up on and something that we grew to love, you know what I'm saying, especially in watching and being a part of. But just like anything, you know what I'm saying, there's different elements of life inside, huh?
Just go ahead.
There's different parts of elements of the game that all pertain to life, because anytime you create anything, you use the life principles actually to create it. You know what I'm saying? So when they created the game, there's so many different things that's going to be involved. And whether it's football, whether you at the job, wherever you anywhere, these principles are going to actually be in that specific thing. But we've always been able to, even from my great elder teacher, Dr. Amos Wilson. And I would say that he's probably one of the people who got me into using football analogies, because he would use football analogies a lot. And then me and a lot of the other brothers would actually get together and we would all break stuff down by plays, by formations, by all kinds of stuff in football. So one thing, let's say Baltimore Ravens, go Ravens today. You know what I'm saying? 3:30 is going to be on and popping. And I would just say this, going back to Ravens when they even just started with the Ravens, you know what I'm saying? There was a man who I look up to, Ray Lewis, who was the spirit. See, they're individuals who house the spirit of a team, you know what I'm saying? Who all emanates off of them, you know what I'm saying? And transforms the whole team around them and make people play better. I've been around people like that I played baseball with, you know what I mean? They just make you better. Like my buddy Dennis, Dennis thought he might be on here, whatever. Dennis was a person who was really good at football around the way. And whenever you played with Dennis on his team, he made you better. He just made you better. It was just like he gave you confidence. It was like, go out, turn around, the ball gonna be right there. And boom, you do that turn, the ball be right there. So every time people played around the way, they wanted Dennis the quarterback. They wanted him to be there because he just made you play better. He just knew how to talk to you. He just knew those things. You know what I'm saying? So Ray Lewis in the Ravens, you know what I'm saying, was one of those people. He housed the spirit of the Ravens, of the Ravens. When he come out there, y'all know, and he do that dance, and he start touching, he do that, the people go crazy. It's funny because we was arguing about that yesterday. Some of the brothers was calling it a buck dance, you know what I mean? They said that Ray Lewis was doing. I was like, nah, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what I mean? That's a spirit dance. When he does that, the people go crazy, the crowd goes crazy, but it touches their spirit, their very spirit, when he comes out there and he does that, because he houses the power of that team. You know what I'm saying? So we often play a lot, and I say that when Ray Lewis left the Ravens, that he took the Ray out of the Ravens, that, you know what I mean, for a minute it was lost, you know what I mean, because they didn't have a team. I mean, although they had Ed Reed, they had some other people that was still there, T Sizzle, you know what I'm saying, different people. It still wasn't like Ray Lewis was that person who lit up the team. So that's why, even if you remember, he got hurt the last time he won a Super Bowl, but before they went to the playoffs, he was hurt, and then he announced that he was coming back, and that was the energy that actually took them over the top. If Ray Lewis didn't come back, they would not have won a Super Bowl, because everybody around on the team was like, yo, we gonna win this Super Bowl. Ray, we playing for Ray, because it was Ray last year. Everybody knew he was retiring after this year, so it was about Ray, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It was about them winning, but their leader came back. and he actually was able to do that also too. And I would say, even for Peyton Manning, the white guy, you know what I'm saying? It was the same thing with him with the Broncos. He was old, having a horrible year with the Denver Broncos, and they actually took him out for games. And then they actually put him back in like the last game or so, put him back in. But he was the leader. So when he came back into the game, he knew how to lead them, even though he could hardly throw the ball anymore. But he was the leader. That leadership led. And then he came back that year and he won the Super Bowl. Hardly throwing the ball. He wasn't doing half of the stuff that he was doing before, but it was the spirit that he had that actually pushed them through and pushed them to the next level. Now, moving on with the Ravens, you know what I'm saying? After a while, you know what I'm saying, a few years, then they got Lamar Jackson. And I told everybody then, you know what I'm saying, when they got him and he came and started playing, people was doubting. I said, that's the new spirit of the team. He is the spirit of the team. He's the person that's going to take them to the next level. And sure enough, he became instantly the spirit of the team. So, you know what I mean? He's what all emanates from Lamar Jackson, all emanates from him. You know what I mean? And the team love him. They play for him. So when he go in, if you heard him the other day, he said when they was tied up going into the locker room, and one of the announcers asked him, "What did you say to the team to get them up and to get them playing?" He said, "It's not really appropriate for me to say what I said to them at halftime." You know what I mean? But but I did say some things, you know what I'm saying, to them. But it's not appropriate for me to say what it is. But the spirit, he's the spirit of the team. So all people, when they recruit, they look for people who can lead that team, who can bring the momentum to that team at the time. And then that's individuals and that's team. And then there's something in the game that's called momentum in general. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like you running the ball, touchdown, you running this touchdown, you field goal. You can't go wrong. You can just throw the ball up, you know what I mean? And the person to catch the ball, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You just got the momentum. There's a force that's on your side that's just rolling with you. And so you'll hear teams talking about, we got to break their momentum. We got to do something to get them off of this momentum or this energy source that they on right now. And we got to switch the momentum. You know what I'm saying? So teams, when they start losing, they try to figure out how they can interrupt that team. Because when you got the momentum, you got the momentum. You know what I'm saying? So it's about and that trickles down to our lives in general. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when things are going crazy, you just like, oh man, what else could happen worse? What else could happen? You know what I mean? And that's the power of even the book or the video that people watch called The Secret. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And it's about getting up positive affirmations, you know, those different things, and being able to have the momentum of life going your way. Because sometimes when it's bad, it can get bad. And you trying to figure out what can happen. Come on, I got to switch this. I got to change this. Boom. And then a check come in the mail for $10,000 for something. You know what I mean? Or whatever. And then things just start flowing your way and the momentum. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, you know, so I'm just saying that there's a lot of spiritual lessons that we take from sports, but it's not just about the sport. You know what I mean? Loving the sport. But this is all principles that you can find in the spiritual books. Yeah. That you can find in the Bible. That you can find in the Quran. That you can find in ancient Egypt. That you can find in many of the holy books or many of the sacred texts that's all around. You can find these same principles. We just been able to take it, and because because I do like football, to take it and find those principles inside of football. And I can tie analogies in all day long about football, boxing, baseball, basketball, and I can tie it into my barbershop. I can tie it into those different things, you know, in general. So that, you know, that's just my spill on momentum, and go Ravens. And hopefully we'll have that momentum all game long. You know what I'm saying?
Go Ravens.
You know what I mean? Because now here's the other thing. On paper, the Ravens would beat this game. They the better team. You know what I'm saying? They got the better players. They got everything. But then you got one, Patrick Mahomes, who we got to show respect to, who is a bad brother. You know what I'm saying? Who he don't care what's on paper. Right. He is coming out there. He gonna win that game from his perspective. It don't matter what receivers that he don't have. He would throw the ball and catch it himself if he had to. He will become the running back. He will play with one arm broke to win this game against the. He's the spirit of the team.
So would you say that? I just had a quick question. Would you say that spirit is just as important, if not more important, than skill and talent on a football field?
Spirit. So that's a great question. Skill and talent actually means that, because skill and talent can become very individual. You know what I'm saying? A person can be like an individual with his skill and talent. You know what I'm saying? Right. But if he don't have the spirit to say to the other person, I need you. I'm sorry.
Kendra keep trying to tell you to look at the camera, bro.
Oh.
You looking down instead of at the camera.
Oh, you know why? Because I'm looking at a camera on the computer, and we got no. I am. I'm looking at, but we got it coming off another camera that's higher. That's
He's looking at the computer camera.
Okay, no, you need to look up. We want to see your eye contact while you going in and giving that ashe to the Ravens. You gotta give it. You gotta put it to the camera.
No doubt. But yeah. So,
and I would think, just adding on, and I'm not football savvy like Jabari, but I could say that that's in anything, especially when it comes to an organization. You can have all the skills and talent and knowledge you want, but if the spirit is broken in a team, it doesn't matter. You know, the spirit is what brings in a unity. The spirit is when you may physically can't push, but your spirit is so strong, you like, I got to do this. Like, so when Jabari said he would go out there and play with one arm if he had to, that's his spirit giving him that energy sometimes that you can't get from nowhere else. So
that's right.
Spirit to me is more important than anything.
Yeah.
You know, you can have skill just like somebody can go out for a job, or you can go try to do anything, and you can have, it can be all in, you know, you can have all of the book smarts and the skills and the knowledge, but if your spirit is off, people may not hire you just because of that. It don't matter. So going back to the purpose of this temple and us healing this community, it all starts with spirit.
Definitely.
And that's why, you know, the Soul Vibers mantra, we know that our favorite mantra, the spirit is strong, definitely strong.
Yeah, definitely.
It's actually, you know, I love what, you know, both of y'all are talking about. It's actually, you know, a spiritual, well, one of the deities in the Kemetic tree of life, as taught by Ra Nefer Amen, because, you know, different people and teachers had the different perspectives. Teach about the principle of Sekert, or the deity called Sekert, which represents spiritual power. And you, in life, sometimes you have to achieve things or manifest something without the primary assistance from skill or from material resources. You got to have a strong enough spirit to draw and attract the circumstances that you need to achieve something. And so, that's perfect what you said about, things may look a certain way on paper. Statistically, well, you know, the odds of this happening are very slim, but what the odds and the statistics don't factor in is the spirit of the spiritual power of the person and the people involved.
Yes,
and
when
you
no, I'm sorry. I just wanted to add, and when you talk about Sekert, the idea is the focus is power, the energy of power, but it's power from self. This is the inner power. You're clearing away the mental obstructions first before you can clear anything in the physical, whether it's love, finances, your health. The mental obstruction needs to be cleared through focus. Where is your power? And that goes back again to momentum. The momentum comes when you are able to clear away the mental obstructions, which usually come from the root of the shadow side of happiness, which is what? Us, you know, not, which is discontent. Discontent. And these sports stars, all they know is they are clearing any mental obstructions. They are building up the momentum, and they're forging forth on their cause. You know, they are not going for anything about my knee hurts, or I had a bad practice, or that team stats. Those areas of discontentment, discomfort, their happiness, their momentum is I'm ready to go. My team, I and my team are one. If I'm ready to go, if I'm focused, and I trust that my team is on that same flow, we're going to do it.
Let me just say this to add this in, because one brother, we call him the dark spirited brother of the shop. He had to get in. He loved the Buccaneers, and so he had to add something about Tom Brady on this live. You know what I mean? So but no, but actually, he's true. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady was one of the great galvanized. You know what I'm saying? Give him 30 seconds on the clock. In his mind, he cannot see. He's winning this game. I don't care what the odds. I'm going to get them downfield, and we're going to score this touchdown. That's like you said. Then that's all walks of life, though. You know what I mean? But because whatever it is, I'm going to make this happen. I don't care what got to happen. I don't know. There's times that I've looked at my life like that. I would book a whole event, have the event planned, everything done, and wouldn't have an ounce of money. But in my mind, I would know it was going to get done. You know what I mean? Everything, the place, the person, everything be lined. I was like, this going to happen. Okay, now I got to figure out how to make it happen since I booked it. You know what I mean? Or I made it happen. But I do have one other, like there's a even when you talk about skill, and there's a brother at the shop, you know what I'm saying, that we talk about, you know what I'm saying. I say there's a brother Ricardo at the shop, you know what I'm saying, who came in when he came in with apprenticeship. He didn't have a whole lot of skills. He came out the boot camp, you know what I'm saying, but he had dedication, commitment. You know what I mean? He had those two things, you know what I'm saying? And there was other people at the shop that was far more skilled than him. But within a year's time, with his dedication and commitment, because you couldn't tell him that he wasn't going to be successful. And within a year's time, he surpassed those, not even in skill, but in what you were talking about. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it was that whole momentum. It was the whole spirit that he had. The spirit he surpassed the person in, not the skill, and actually wound up making more money and becoming more valuable. You know what I'm saying? In that position, just to prove that point. So yeah, definitely.
That's
Beautiful.
right. And
Shout out to brother Ricardo.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just wanted to add, and looking at the spirit, we got to go back to our ancestors and where that spirit had to be. You think of a sister like Harriet Tubman. Where was her spirit in order to help go back time after time after time?
Against all odds.
Going back to what we say, what it looked like on paper. On paper, you would have been like, hell no.
Yeah.
You know,
getting their legs chopped off.
Exactly. But her spirit was strong, definitely strong.
Right.
And she persevered and she kept going back. So I think about our ancestors when I think about the spirit, and not just her, but many others had to have where they said on paper, the odds are against me, but I have to push forward. So I wanted to bring that in real quick.
The discontent was no longer stronger than her will.
Ashe.
And just to let y'all know that our mantra, is abbreviated. The complete version of it is: the spirit is strong, definitely strong, can't stop, won't stop. So we got to remember that: can't stop, won't stop. So in closing with the I just want to communicate a little tidbit when you deal pertaining to the football analogy. Like I've studied Raul Nefer Amen's version of the Kemetic tree of life. And he has 11 spheres on the tree of life. And there are 11 players on the football field on either side, on both sides. There is some significance. And if you understand the breakdown of Heru, this is a little tidbit. He functions as the quarterback on the field. The quarterback is the Heru on the field, because his job is to look at the big picture and make decisions in real time. And he also is the will. Heru represents the will. So Heru represents being circumspective in your vision. And then when you make a decision, you use your will. And so the quarterback is usually the will that drives the team. When Ray Lewis was on the team, he was the Heru of the team. But now Lamar Jackson is the Heru of the team, but the quarterback is usually the Heru of the team. He embodies the will and the intention. So I just wanted to, drop that.
Brother Ruth said, yes, I am.
Shout out to Brother Heru.
Peace, good brother. Peace. I want to say too, real quick. Subscribe to the Facebook. To the Reality Speaks, the YouTube channel. That's subscribe. Right. You know what I'm saying? We growing. We got quite a few shows over there. This is going to be one of the shows that's going to be there. Also, probably will be on the Sacred Opportunities channel also. But yeah, subscribe. Tell people about it. This is how we come, and this is how we, bringing it. Hopefully, giving people some energy, some spirit, for the week, for your week that you're gonna be having. Also, if you want to make a donation to help us grow, because like I said, we do come together every first Sunday from 10 to 12 every first Sunday of the month. We hope that, that y'all can spread the word, get the people out there, man. We're going to have a good time this year. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the first one coming up next week, next Sunday. So please tell people about it. Every donation that you actually give to us will go towards, us, making things better. And I want to say shout out to Mama Mayat, my mom, you know what I'm saying, who was a big inspiration for us coming together doing this. And right now I'm right next to her shrine as we actually broadcast today, right next. So she's right here with us, you know what I'm saying, in spirit and mind. So we appreciate that, you know what I'm saying. So I was just saying, but just anybody want to make a donation, you can, you got the Cash App,
No, I was saying if you could put a take up there. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, for the Cash App.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going across the screen actually.
Okay.
You can see it coming across the screen. You can make a donation and help us, to build this and keep going. But we're gonna keep going regardless, no matter what. Right. So that was my.
So, are we? I know we almost on an hour. Are we able to close with the meditation, or do we need to wait on that? Do that at a different time.
No, let me see. Hold on one second. Are we ready to do that now?
Yeah.
I think we should.
You gave everyone the next week. So.
Give me a second with this. Hold up.
And please let us know what you would like for us to add to our Temple Talk table. We will have themes every month, but if there is a topic that you all would like us to cover, whether it's current events, politics, religion, relationship, health, whatever, let's go, because we want to build a network of not just doers and soldiers, but influencers and elevators. We are done with stars. The idea of people being stars are falling down. We need influencers. And that means you. Health and wellness, one person said. Okay.
So
can y'all see the screen?
Yes. The emptying
Can you make it bigger?
is very important. The reason we want to do these meditations is we want to at least give everyone, every time we interact, the opportunity to connect with spirit, and for this one it's about emptying out. It's the end of the month. Just empty your register. Try to get, clear your mind, clear your spirit, and just relax. Because remember, happiness is also a form of relieving of tension. It's the ability to be relaxed within yourself. So enjoy the meditation.
We want you to breathe and relax. Get in a comfortable position. Release all tension out of the body. Just breathe deeply, fully. Allow your body to breathe. Allow the breath feel your body relax. Merge and become one with the breath. Experience and appreciate the blending of the in breath and the out breath. Empty yourself. Empty your body of all tension. There's nothing but the relaxing sensation of the in breath and the out breath. Breathe out until you can breathe out no more. Now breathe in slowly, fully, completely. Appreciate the sensation. Breathe out slowly, breathing out all tension. Relax. Allow your entire being to relax. This meditation is the emptying meditation. We want you to empty. Clear out your register. Empty your mind. No expectations. Just relax and be empty. Don't identify with any thoughts that arise. Just simply observe. Witness without attachment. Just observe. No attachment to any story. Don't tell any story. Don't use your memory right now. You can get back to that later. After the meditation, you can remember whatever it is that you want to remember. But now, do not use your memory. Just breathe and witness. Empty. Don't create anything with your imagination. Don't look into the future. Just be present now. Just be here now. Empty. Feel the clarity of emptiness. Enjoy the relaxation of being here and now. Empty. No expectations. No regrets. No future anticipation. No past ponderings. You are just here, right now. Observe. Relationships are meant to be easy. Allow the ease. The universe creates with ease. Life is meant to be easy. Breath.
All right.
All right,
Thanks, Brother Simbi, for that beautiful meditation. I definitely felt like I was releasing and almost levitating.
Mhm. Yes, it was beautiful.
definite.
Thank
Well,
you.
we want to thank everybody for joining us today, and hope that the spirit is strong, definitely strong, and that everybody has a beautiful day. That you get ready to join us at the temple next week
That's
at
right.
TNAT. What's the address?
Is it 5525?
I think it's
Harper
21.
Road?
Is it 55?
No. Hold on.
Remember
I
to
just
subscribe.
Subscribe and make sure that you are active and join our Facebook group. Get in there, get in there, get in there. We are excited to move this offline and online. We want a continual movement. Thank you. We appreciate you for joining us. Come
thank you.
through.
Thank you. Blessings.
Peace, peace and love, everyone.
Peace. Wait a minute. Trying to go out same way we came.